All right, GMPM here with a sort of season one recap, season two primer for Utah Eagles hockey. Um, just a chance to go over the story thus far before season two begins. And so, for those who didn't catch last season, basically the team started out kind of middle of the road, got to the point where they were basically one of the hottest teams in the NHL throughout the winter, cooled off in the spring, and got into the playoffs and played a brilliant 7 game series against eventual Stanley Cup champion Nashville Predators. But they didn't quite make it and just more or less petered out in game 7. And so I looked at it realistically. Um, I definitely learned some lessons from that series. Identified points that we need to get better at, and also addressed some roster issues that were likely to come to bear later on, but that were not so um, that were not so much results of the playoffs. But all told, I think I've adjusted things very well in the context of the kind of system that we run, the kind of product we put on the ice. And so to get underway on the off-season moves, the two big departures are going to be Mark Giordano and Darcy Kemper. Giordano, due to contract issues, he wanted something like $7.1 million a year with term, and he's going to be 37 when that kicks in. And so I didn't really feel comfortable that he wasn't going to age out of the role during that time. And his trade value was still fantastic. And so I worked with that. Darcy Kemper, I just... In the playoffs, you see a lot of goals that are not the goalie's fault. You have defensive collapses. You have some just really good plays, really good snipes. But then you have instances where, yeah, the goalie should have had that. And I just found myself thinking that too many times in that series against Nashville. And I don't think that Darcy Kemper is the guy that's going to get us to the Stanley Cup, even though he's been brilliant at times. I'm a huge Darcy Kemper fan. And, yeah, I just didn't want to be... I didn't want him to be the ceiling between the pipes going into the next season. And so, off of the main roster, we also moved Vladislav Nemesnikov, who played decently but didn't really find his spot in the lineup based on the system that we play. And also, I'm a huge Nemesnikov fan. I'm thrilled that the Colorado Avalanche picked him up at the trade deadline in real life. He just didn't work with the Utah Eagles system that well. So I moved him out. And coming into the roster, we have Ryan Murray, who will be Giordano's immediate replacement, as well as incoming starting goaltender Jacob Markstrom, who was not my first choice. I was really going to try to snake Binnington, but that didn't happen. But I think Markstrom at least improves our situation on a basic level from Kemper. And then we also had 3 prospects who made the team out of training camp. Forwards Brendan Lemieux and Josh Archibald. And I can't wait until you get to see Archibald's speed with the Eagles. That kid is fast. And then Brendan Lemieux is going to be playing up on the top line, actually, at least at the start of the year, with Adam Henrique and Jonas Donskoy. And so, yes, that does move Chris Kreider down to the bottom half of the lineup, but as balanced as our scoring is and as balanced as we roll our lines, I'm not worried at all about Kemper taking a real hit to his ice time. And honestly, he's going to have completely capable line mates anyway, so I don't expect this will really impact his offensive output. And if it does, we can always move him back onto the top line. The other addition is defenseman Christian Jaros, who will be on the second pairing with Ryan Murray. And after a certain preseason game against the Minnesota Wild, which unfortunately I didn't record, but I did get some pretty good off-screen footage of as it happened, I might have to post up to the Discord at one point or another. Yeah, I couldn't leave him off the team. And so, yeah, that does leave some players starting the year in the minors. Slater Kukuk is going to be down in West Valley. Stefan Nosen is going to be down in West Valley to start the year. I'm not sure when we're going to get the chance to see them. Hopefully it's not because of injury problems, but because of just some potential opportunities in the way of fine-tuning the roster based on our system. The other two departures via trade are Adam Pelech, who we sent to Florida for some draft picks, and Austin Watson, who was in and out of the lineup. We sent him to Columbus as part of the deal that got Ryan Murray here. But yeah, that's the gist of the changes we made to our roster going into the 2020-2021 season. And with that being said, there are going to be some changes to the presentation in Season 2. I've sort of worked out a way to simultaneously stream and record. So what I'm going to be doing is having my PlayStation 4 stream games live while they're being played. And the streams will also catch the in-between game stuff where I'm fine-tuning lineups and just going over maybe scouting assignments, things like that. So you'll get a good look at the behind the scenes that you didn't have in Season 1. While I've got my computer recording the individual games themselves, which I'll be throwing on YouTube like I did last season, the same way. So, that all having been said, I absolutely expect to get Season 2 started imminently, and that will be on Twitch at SP_Patrick, and then the archived, video on demand games are going to be right here on the same channel that they've been going to, and I hope to see you there. Eagles hockey is almost back.